But then a juggernaut's coming. Fantastic Four and the Marvel train is coming. And there's going to be a lot of momentum in this Marvel train because of Thunderbolts. I'm saying it right now. Like I said, I talked to people that saw the screening. I'm not just relying on the glazers that you see online saying, "Oh, it's it's the best thing since Endgame." Not relying on that. No, I believe the hype. Thunderbolts is sounding really good, and it's the summer starts with next month with Thunderbolts. I think Marvel is back, y'all. Now they got this new clip, and I'm gonna talk about what I was hearing in that post credit scene. I won't spoil too much of this. Again, with the live crew, you just kind of hear what you hear. This will be archived to the Patreons. Patreon link is on my profile page, or patreon.com/SillAbdul. Level two would get it. And then for the Patrons, level 3, y'all should have a separate update before this weekend too. So I try to take care of all levels there. But let's pull up the clip, and then we'll talk a little bit about the film as far as what I was hearing. And I'm not going to describe the entire post-credit scene, but it's kind of out there, to be quite honest. But just the implications of the post-credit scene is very interesting, in my opinion. Let's run this clip.
There you are.
Now what?
Oh, get over yourself.
Stay out of my way.
So interesting. This is actually a pretty interesting scene too in the film. And I will say, like, that scene where you see them all fight each other, it kind of sets the stakes of the film a little bit, as far as what I heard. We kind of realize everyone doesn't make it out of that film, and we kind of know who doesn't make it, but that's not the point. A pretty good action film, a little more serious film than people thought. This is the film where they should have been like, "Oh, we used the Winter Soldier type fighting." This is the film that they should have said that for, because it's definitely some pretty good action in the film overall, according to those that seen it. My main thing that I wanted to know about with Thunderbolts is obviously Sentry. This is what was what I wanted to know mostly about, right? And just according to those that seen it, and actually, let me read off their comments. First off, the film itself. Okay, let's talk about the film itself. Throw this up here. Now, one person I talked to, they've been pretty critical and hard on Marvel films. They've been really they're not an all-out Marvel glazer. So you gotta impress them. They were lukewarm on Captain America: Brave New World. I actually like Captain America: Brave New World, but I felt they could have did more with the Red Hawks and that. But they say with the film, let's see. Okay, they just talked about Sentry. Because, yeah, that's all I was asking about was Sentry. So let's go to the Sentry topic. Okay. They said just like people thought. This is like a Homelander type character. Okay, this is their words. Okay, Homelander Like, okay. Not that he just goes all out using his power, but there's an internal battle. So this is a little more cerebral film. It's good action, but again, it's not like a joke fest, which is what I thought it would be. Sentry in the comics is a pretty serious character. You got the whole Void, and he's battling his depression and things like that, right? So you can kind of imagine, probably how they try to talk him down in the film. But he's more of like a Hulk, right? So he's when he flexes, like it's a special time in the film. The few scenes he gets a few times to kind of flex, which is what I'm excited about. Y'all already saw his suit leak, right? So he has an accurate suit and everything. So there's I feel there's gonna be a crowd pleasing moments when he does his thing in the film. And of course, the Void, they kind of visualize what the Void is and things like that, right? So very excited. And this is the only thing I was like, I was pretty sure with the trailers, Thunderbolts, they were looking pretty good with their trailers these last couple weeks, selling the film that they have. And I was like, okay, the Sentry part, how is that going to be? Hearing that they got that right, and everyone kind of gets their chance to shine in this film, I'm pretty confident in this film, right? Pretty confident in this film overall. Early projections had it at a 70 million opening. I think that can go up. I think this film can get a 90 opening overall, and I think it's going to just establish that fun popcorn Marvel film. Captain America: Brave New World was a little too serious, and we kind of don't need that in these Marvel films. But you got to have that formula, that balance, right? Yeah, there's serious moments in Thunderbolts, but they keep it Marvel-y. And I think again, that's what people need for these types of PG-13 action films, right? So interesting hearing the Sentry part. Interesting. What about the post-credit scene before we wrap up this discussion? So it's kind of out there. We understand the asterisk of Thunderbolts, right? I don't think no one should be confused now why there's an asterisk, right? And what they're going to be called. They're going to be another version, of a Marvel team, like Sam Wilson's building in Avengers. Thunderbolts will be another team. There's going to be multiple groups when we get to Avengers Doomsday. So this is like an unlikely group. So they're going to take on a new name. So everyone understands that. There's two post-credit scenes. The mid-credit is played for a joke, Red Guardian. I mean, we know we know who all survives this film because Marvel showed their chairs, right? So it's played for a joke. So ha, mid-credit. But definitely you want to stay for the post-credit scene because not only with Thunderbolts, again, just setting the standard back for Marvel, I did hear a few times the whole Guardians type of thing where it's, unlikely team, but it hits on some emotional chords and having Bucky and I think Red Guardian. I think they mentioned everyone has their standout. It's a great cast. John Walker is much better than he was in the series. Ghost steals the show in more scenes, in several scenes, I should say. Red Guardian is obviously the comic guy, David Harbour. Bucky's kind of just there, but it's just like, oh, Bucky. Yelena, Florence Pugh has great presence, right? So the whole cast works according to people that seen the film. And again, it's setting that Marvel standard back, right? Setting it forward, I should say. So interesting, but the final post credits. So the film itself is stamping like the summer begins here. Action, heart, adventure. They got their Marvel Superman. They got all the ingredients in the film itself. But the final post credit scene, I'm just gonna say it basically ties right to Fantastic Four. So just imagine the theaters, you got Thunderbolts and people. I think the target audience is going to enjoy it, just like with Minecraft. It's not about being a masterpiece here. This is Marvel. Just follow the formula. I think it'll do well. So that's one thing. And then that post-credit scene basically tying right into Fantastic Four. Very smart move by Feige to make this an event type film, and it's setting up Fantastic Four. So I think Thunderbolts is actually going to do well. And then the post-credit scene pointing you right to Fantastic Four. It's like that's what everyone's going to be talking about when this film is over. They're going to be like, "Oh, I can't wait for Fantastic Four." And it comes out in 2 months. Marvel wins the summer. Okay. that's what this means. And I think with Thunderbolts, because I think it'll be a better film, like I said, than Brave New World. So you're talking about a film, I think it can do at least 600 million. If it really catches on, then you're talking about 7. And then it's just going to be more hype for the Marvel brand and, again, Fantastic Four. So